me again. I'm here at Fort Stark, and I'm going to be doing my next episode on snakes, especially the most common snake in New Hampshire, the common garter snake. Now, there's a lot of places here, like in this haunted place, for a snake to hide. This place is deserted, so a lot of snakes could hide around here. Like in this pile behind me, there could be plenty of snakes hiding here. The common garter snake is 5 feet long and weighs 6 ounces. And a close relative, the red-sided garter snake, when they hibernate, they gather in huge hibernaculums under places like this. Red-sided garter snakes can gather in the largest concentration of snakes in the world, up to 10,000 of them. The female is 3 times bigger than the male, and she can be outnumbered 3,000 to 1. They all want to mate with her. Sometimes a male can even mimic the smell of a female to lure the other males away from the real female. That way he can mate with her himself. And I've seen lots of common garter snakes before. I've seen big ones and I've seen small ones. And 2 common garter snake encounters I had a long time ago. Me and my family found a really big one in our bush in our front yard. We named it Darth Vader, but I'm starting to think it might have been a female now because of its size. And another time there was a smaller one I saw, probably a male. I saw it swallow a toad whole under my deck. There are 3,000 different species of snakes, but only 30% of them are poisonous, which means only 900 are poisonous. The only trouble, though, is that sometimes we don't know which ones are poisonous and which aren't. That's why we're afraid of them all. In fact, 3 times more women are afraid of snakes than men. But all poisonous snakes have fangs. The ones that aren't poisonous don't have any fangs at all. And the ones that are not poisonous kill by constriction. And the deadliest snakes in the world, which would be the most dangerous snakes in the world, are cobras. And the deadliest of them all is the largest species, the king cobra. The largest, heaviest, and longest venomous snake in the world. It's not the most venomous snake in the world, but it is the most aggressive. And in this case, the word king in both king cobra and king snake refers to their appetite for mostly other snakes. They eat more than just other snakes, but they mostly eat other snakes. And they're not the only 2 snakes that eat other snakes. There's plenty of others, but they're the only 2 that mostly eat other snakes. Common brown water snakes, they're not poisonous, and garter snakes aren't poisonous either. But garter snakes can bite, and common brown water snakes are aggressive. And garter snakes have a little bit of poison to kill their prey, but it has no effect on large animals like humans. And it's not true poison because it's not venom. True poisonous snakes are venomous. All poisonous snakes have venom. And the king cobra has enough venom in a single bite to kill 170 people. Now, the average person weighing 200 pounds, 170 people put together would weigh 17 tons. And an elephant only weighs 14 tons, so it's more than enough to kill an elephant. The largest and heaviest snake in the world is the green anaconda, and the longest snake in the world is the reticulated python. But the truth is, They're actually both about the same length. They're both each 40 feet long and 4 feet in girth and more than 15 inches wide, because the girth of a circle is always 3.14 times the width. But the green anaconda weighs 600 pounds and the reticulated python only weighs 450 pounds. And there's actually 3 venomous snakes that weigh 50 pounds. The king cobra, the gaboon viper, and the diamondback rattlesnake, especially the eastern diamondback rattlesnake, which all makes them the largest and heaviest venomous snakes in the world. But the largest snake that ever lived was Titanoboa, an ancestor of the green anaconda. Lived in South America 60 million years ago, just 5 million years after the last dinosaurs went extinct. And it was the top predator of all South America at its time. It was 50 feet long, 4 feet wide, which would make it 12.56 feet in girth. It was 4 feet tall from the top of its back down to the ground, and it weighed 3 tons. And the second largest snake that ever lived, which was the previous largest snake ever before Titanoboa was discovered, was Gigantophus. Gigantophus lived in Africa 40 million years ago, 25 million years after the last dinosaur went extinct, and 20 million years after Titanoboa. It was 40 feet long and weighed half a ton. It preyed on primitive elephants like Moratherium. Titanoboa hunted crocodiles, and Titanoboa replaced Gigantophus as the largest snake that ever lived. And some snakes can actually swallow prey 10 times their size. That means a 600-pound green anaconda could swallow 3-ton animals, so they could swallow a 3-ton cow. That's basically the largest thing they could swallow in a single gulp. And Titanoboa, weighing 3 tons, could swallow 30-ton whales. That doesn't mean that they did hunt whales. I'm just saying that they could, even though they didn't. And snakes can open their mouths 180 degrees. There are 2 other animals that can open their mouths 180 degrees: hippos and the now extinct Tasmanian tiger. Snakes in general are actually really hard to kill because they're pretty tough. I'll give you 5 examples, 3 of which involve the green anaconda. Green anaconda versus jaguar. Winner, the green anaconda. Green anaconda versus warthog. Winner, again, the green anaconda. Green anaconda versus mindrel. Again, winner, the green anaconda. And American alligator versus Burmese python. Winner, the Burmese python. And Komodo dragon versus king cobra. Winner, the king cobra. And snakes like the green anaconda have 20,000 muscles, and the green anaconda has a squeeze force of 100 pounds per square inch. Now, our chest and rib cage cover 100 square inches, so if you multiply that by 100, that would be 10,000 pounds, which is 5 tons. That's like getting pinned underneath a 5-ton school bus. And it's been estimated that Titanoboa had a squeeze force of 400 pounds per square inch, 4 times more than a green anaconda. And if you multiply that by 100, that would be 40,000 pounds, which is 20 tons. That's like getting pinned underneath a 20-ton excavator. And like I said earlier, king cobras and king snakes can both take down other snakes. But what happens if they try to take each other down? King cobras are poisonous and kill with venom. King snakes are not poisonous. They kill by constriction. Now I'm going to quickly tell you about some legendary monster snakes. Several years ago, word leaked out that a remote Sumatran hill tribe known as the Kubu were worshipping a 50-foot-long, half-ton reticulated python named Fragrant Flowers. They named him that. If the rumors were true, it was the largest, heaviest, and longest snake ever seen by humans. A local zookeeper decided he wanted that snake. After a year of negotiation, it was handed over to the zoo. But things didn't quite add up, though, because when Fragrant Flowers was measured by news reporters, they found he was only 23 feet long. Fragrant Flowers wasn't even remotely close to being the world's largest, heaviest, and longest snake. But who's fooling who? Some believe because Fragrant Flowers is a spiritual ruler, he can change his size and shape. But it's more likely that the Kubu weren't about to hand over their spiritual ruler to a zookeeper. They negotiated for a year while they tracked down the longest python they could find. And somewhere up in the remote Sumatran hills, they are still worshipping their 50-foot-long, half-ton reticulated python god. At 50 feet long, he would be as long as a 5-story building is tall. To keep Fragrant Flowers happy, zoo handlers feed him 4 dogs a month. That may sound tragic to people who reveal dogs as pets, but for a snake that eats anything from rodents to giant reptiles, a canine offers rich protein and fat. There's a cryptid snake that's believed to live in South America. It's called the giant anaconda, also known as the megaconda. It's believed to be 200 feet long, 6 feet wide, which would make it 18.84 feet in girth and weighs 5 tons. 2/3 the length of a football field, as wide as a man is tall, and as heavy as a rhino. In 1907, the famous explorer Percy Fawcett claims to have shot and killed a giant anaconda. He said 50 feet of it lay out of the water, and another 20 feet of it lay in the water, for a total of 70 feet long. But then he went missing in the Amazon and was never seen again. Who knows what happened to him? Maybe another larger giant anaconda got him. And here are 2 more quick stories. In 1897, a New York Times magazine reported that a large python was killing natives on a small island in the Florida Keys. A search party was sent out and later found a 40-foot python eating a deer. It was later revealed that the snake had escaped from a circus. They didn't say what kind of snake it was, so therefore I don't know what kind of python it was. But I do know that the only pythons alive today that reach 40 feet long are reticulated pythons, so it seems most likely to me that it was probably a reticulated python. In 1904, another New York Times magazine reported that a snake 2 stories long, which would be 20 feet long, slipped out of a 3rd floor window of a burned animal store. Thanks again for watching. See you next time on another episode of Ben's Wild Adventure.